Maker's Mark just dropped one of its oldest bourbons ever, and at $175, the big question is it worth it? Today's forecast is the brand new Maker's Mark Cellar Aged 2025 Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey. This year's release is a blend of 11, 13, and 14-year-old bourbons, which means it's some of the oldest whiskey Maker's Mark has ever released. It's also bottled right at cask strength, which this year checks in right at 112.9 proof. Now the mash bill is the same classic Maker's Mark recipe of 70% corn, 16% red winter wheat, and 14% malted barley. But what makes the Cellar Aged Bourbon so special and unique is where it finishes its aging process. Each barrel spends at least 6 years within Maker's traditional rickhouses, soaking up those seasonal temperature swings. Then they're transferred over to the distillery's limestone whiskey cellar, where they'll age for the rest of their time, and in this case that's anywhere from 5 to 8 years. That cellar's constantly cool environment, which is said to stick around 47 to 51 degrees, slows down those oak tannins while allowing the bourbon to develop a deeper and darker flavor profile, which brings in a little bit more uniqueness. Now altogether, this bottle comes in with an MSRP right at $175. So let's see if the juice is worth the squeeze. Okay, the nose is pretty good. This is gonna sound weird, but it almost smells creamy. I get a chocolate fudge s'mores-like vibe to it, along with some toasted oak, as well as some caramels and some light fruits to it as well, with a slight hint of baking spice sneaking in at the end. The nose is pretty great. Let's see how it tastes. It's definitely darker than I anticipated it to be, and it's nowhere near as sweet. It's got a darker chocolate, even like a chocolate wafer to it up front to me, and then it turns to those baking spices, a lot of cinnamons, a lot of nutmegs, and even some rye spice coming through as well. And the oak notes are definitely there more than I normally get out of a Maker's Mark product. It finishes to me like one of those cinnamon jawbreaker candies, along with a little bit of bitterness and a tart note that I can't quite put my finger on, almost like a non-sweetened Dr. Pepper, if that makes sense. Altogether, this is very good, and to me, this scores a 7.9 out of 10 on my Lightning Counter rating scale, which puts it right there at the top of the very good category, almost into the great category. I think it's slightly better than last year's, but maybe still on par with 2023. I'd have to do a side-by-side for the official analysis, but those are my initial thoughts. I have to thank one of my Patreon members and friends, Rich, who gave me his bottle to crack and review for this video. As for myself, I'd probably pass on this one at $175, but if I was lucky enough to find one at a Costco closer to $150, I'd definitely pull the trigger. Now I want to know, is this a bourbon that you're hunting? Drop that in the comment section below, and don't forget, it's always whiskey weather.